Is this seat taken? You know, it feels like only earlier today we first met. Maybe that's because it was. And when I offered you the opportunity for a more intimate one-to-one interview, I didn't expect you to jump on the opportunity quite so quickly. Though I must admit, this isn't exactly the environment I imagined that we'd be having this meeting in. Oh, no. Don't get me wrong. I do like a good cafe as much as the next guy. Besides, I could appreciate the surroundings. It's quiet, it's quaint, it's subtle, under the radar. Everything a growing celebrity needs to stay hidden. And that, my dear, is exactly why I think you chose this location. And if that is the case, well, then you are just full of surprises. So, tell me, now that you have me all to yourself, away from the other vultures and interviewers, what are the questions that you have burning deep inside that you wish so dearly to ask away from prying eyes? Oh, come on. Don't play coy with me. We both know that out of the many, many interview panels that I've sat on, you've never been one to shy away from asking a good question. And you're trying to make me believe that when you finally have me all to yourself, that you have nothing you wish to ask? Or perhaps you're just stunned to be in my presence. Yes, I do quite like the sound of that. I believe I will keep that as my running theory for the time being. But, yes, I suppose in that case I can give you a few minutes to get your brain in gear. Why don't we relax and have a coffee or something? You know, something to wet the whistle before we get into the nitty-gritty of things. Oh, no, don't bother trying to flag down a waiter. We have no need to place our order. I already placed it when I came in. You see, I already know exactly how you take your caffeinated beverage of choice. I made sure to take a note of it the last time that we were working in close proximity. You see, I am quite observant for... What was it you called me again in your last article? Ah, yes, an airhead celebrity. Yes, I know all too well that you are not like the rest of the rabble in those interview panels, the ones who are, well, bootlickers, all too quick to stare up in awe at the starlight coming off of the celebrities and capturing some of that to include in their next puff piece. Hype men, yes men, sickeningly sweet men. No. You are a much more cynical writer, aren't you? Worried far more about how what we do influences the human soul. Of course, if a model does a new, we'll say, contemporary advert for a perfume or an aftershave, the yes men may go on about how it's creative expression or how it's profound and earth-shattering, whereas you, quite rightly, just say, is this something our children need to be seeing on the television? It does make the celebrities shiver, doesn't it? Because once you take away the pretense and the grandiose of it all, you are left with somebody with very little clothing holding on to a very small bottle of very expensive liquid. And, well, when you put it like that, I don't suppose there is much good in it, is there? No, but don't mistake my observation for disapproval. No. I actually find you to be quite refreshing. You see, you give me a new lens to view my world through, to weigh the pros and cons of taking on certain opportunities, to see if the pay really is worth the product and the byproducts. Truth be told, you're actually rather invaluable to me. My moral compass. And yet I realise that you do all this for me, and I don't even know your name. Yes, my dear, that was a hint for you to tell me your name. Ah, I see. Well, noted. It is very nice to meet you. Ah, and, as if on cue, our order has arrived. Yes, thank you very much, yes. Thank you, sir. Okay, goodbye. Yes, ta-da. What a nice young man. I do hope I got your order right. I do like to pride myself on being quite switched on with these things, being a gracious host and all that. But by all means, do give me a good bollocking if I've got it wrong. As for me, I'm quite simple. I like my coffee strong, like my partner's. You see, I've never been one to like someone who sacrifices a part of themselves just to be liked. Someone who mutes themselves in an argument for the sake of acceptance. Oh, I don't know, there's just something so sad about it. I like bold, I like strong flavours, I like pronounced, to the point. God, I like strong people. Strong opinions, strong convictions. And you, my dear, well, you are the Carolina Reaper of opinions, the blue cheese of opinions. You are the strongest of wills. And I find that, well, intoxicating. I suppose what I'm trying to say is that whilst this interview, well, it is an interview, it doesn't have to just be one. I suppose, to be a little less coy and a little more on the nose, that as much as you're interviewing me as a celebrity, I'm interviewing you for an alternative offer. Well, what's the offer? Now, that is the question, isn't it? I suppose you could say it's a rather personal role. You would have to be comfortable with spending long amounts of time with me. It's quite physically and mentally engaging. Long shifts, night shift often as well. You'd have to be open for travelling, and there will be a lot of travelling. However, all travel, accommodation and dining shall be fully subsidised. You will, of course, have unlimited access to private interviews with me. And you shall receive a generous bonus for you to spend on whatever you like, really. The only catch, and there is one small catch, well, it's that you go out with me. You know, on a date. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, you know, I'm not one to flaunt or to strut. Mind you, you did call me the Peacock of LA, which was, well, a bit of an exaggeration, don't you think? I mean, have you seen some of the designs that were on the catwalk this year? I mean, 1 million yellow Swarovski crystals is just too much. My God. Honestly, somebody hits that with a lighter and they are blinding the room like a flashbang. Anyway, but yes, I'm not picky. I am, well, what can I say? I'm a man of many suits. I can slum it if I have to. So if you are more of a hiking date or a camping date, I am game. But if you would like me to treat you to a restaurant and a glass of fine wine and finer company, then I can't say I would be entirely opposed either. I suppose what I'm trying to say in a rather roundabout way is I find you intriguing. And whilst I feel that you've had the chance to interview me quite thoroughly over the past few encounters, I really haven't had the chance to interview you. I want to know what makes you tick. And I believe that through having a little date, I may have that opportunity, finally. And if at the end of it we feel that we are not compatible, then we part ways and our working relationship goes on intact. But if I am correct and we are indeed compatible, well, then this could be the start of a beautiful new relationship. I'll tell you what, this is an awful lot of information to dump on you so soon, and you've barely even touched your order. How about this? I will give you until the end of this interview to make your decision. And if by then you are not convinced that it's what you want to do, we will part here, and I will be completely understanding, and we can go on as if none of this ever happened. Good, marvellous. I am so glad that you see things the way that I do. That is refreshing to hear. Now, please sit, relax, enjoy, and do get your little notepad ready because eventually we will be starting this interview. I do, unfortunately, have a few press releases to go to, so I can't be yours for the entire evening, but I will do my damnedest to be putty in your hands for as long as you require. But, with that being said, I suppose we should start this interview, don't you think? So, get out your notepad, get your pen ready, and let's start this interview of yours. Bring on your questions.